Hello, and welcome to the Salesforce Center podcast by MassMailer, where we connect with Salesforce experts, customers, and innovators to talk about smarter, more effective email communication within Salesforce. I'm your host, 𝗟𝗲𝗍𝗂𝗧, co-founder of MassMailer. In this episode, I'll be joined by Ryan Davidson from Amerigo Education. Ryan will outline their journey with MassMailer for Salesforce and the ways it has helped their organization to communicate with students. Let us dive right in.
We're Amerigo Education, and we bring international students to American high schools. So we work with a network of business partners all around the world to recruit high school students who are interested in studying in the United States, whether that is just for a semester to kind of get the experience of studying here, or if they are actually diploma-seeking students who are looking to earn a U.S. high school diploma to assist them with getting into a U.S. university. We run campus within campus at a lot of our schools, where we do support services for both ESL as well as just kind of social counseling, as well as dormitories and homestay of the students who are staying here as well. And so my role within the company is I am the Senior Director of Information Systems, and I oversee most of the large platforms we use like Salesforce, NetSuite, Microsoft. I do a lot of our Salesforce development work. Also the person that was, or one of the two people, I think, along with 𝗟𝗘𝗧, who was responsible for bringing MassMailer on board within the company. What problem were you facing with emailing in Salesforce? So many problems. Yeah, I mean, Salesforce obviously is great, for individual emails, building out email template, but frequently we had, large constituent groups, whether that's all the students at a school, all of the students' parents from a school, all of our business partners. We use a lot DocGen, so we've used past DocuSign. Now we're using Conga. We're actually in the process of migrating now over to Forms IntelliStack, I guess is how they just rebranded themselves. And so we were able to very efficiently generate all of these documents that we need to send people, whether that's invoices or enrollment notices or things like that. But we didn't have a good way to communicate them out, right? So the document was but then frequently our teams were going in and they were sending those out one by one through individual emails, or they were trying to do some kind of mail merge in an external system that required a lot of work. So, the problem that MassMailer really solved for us was being able to say, okay, well, we already have these lists that we're using to generate these documents. So it's very simple then to just go in, take that same logic, plug it into MassMailer, now we can send all of those documents out, or send all those email notifications out to those same groups of people. So it really seemed like it was a missing feature in Salesforce that MassMailer solves.
Okay. What were you using before? Like, did you have an in-house email solution or something else?
We'd used MailChimp a bit, but again, because it was external and there's no really good Salesforce integration there, that just wasn't a great solution. And so we'd done that, or people were sending out emails to 200 recipients off of a single email. Obviously not great for deliverability and other issues.
Okay. So these emails are pretty much targeted to students and the parents and also schools, or? Not
the schools as much. I mean, because we work with, a relatively, not a small number of schools, but, maybe less than 30, right? So those communications are usually bespoke, and we don't generally use the tool that much for marketing, to be honest. We use it more for communication to existing customers. So because our customers are like a student body, and there'll often be multiple constituents that need to receive the notification. So it might be, because again, our students are minors. So a lot of times the parents need to receive the actual communication. So it might go to the student, both of their parents, and it might go to the agent who helped us recruit that student as well, who wants to stay in the loop, right? So, so imagine 500 students, but then times 4 email addresses for each of them, right? All of a sudden it becomes a large mailing.
Okay. And so these are more like operational emails, and is it automated, or is it like a one-off kind of emails? How are you actually sending?
Yeah, it's a mix. We've done some scheduling of them for things like invoice reminders, where, people will fall off the list view as they send deposits, for example, and then every week we'll just send to the new list people that still haven't paid a deposit, for example. And some of them are one-off. Some of them are like seasonal things where it's easier to just go in and have somebody push a button and send it.
Okay. Anything that really stood out in our product MassMailer that really felt that this is actually a game changer?
Yeah, sure. I think, being native to Salesforce, right? Like being able to not having to leave the environment to go to a separate platform to do all these things. Even if there was an integration, it's still just one login, right? You log into Salesforce and you can do everything right from there. You don't have to say like, okay, let me go into like some third-party product on a different site, log in, make sure the integration is set up, make sure I'm seeing all the connections I need. It's just there, and you have access to all the information you have in Salesforce, which is great. So I think that was, and then obviously the functionality that I explained, which is just missing in Salesforce otherwise. So yeah, for both of those reasons, we really like the platform.
Wonderful. Any improvements, performance improvements, or anything that you've noticed, whether it is process improvement, monitoring, anything that you can share?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it fits our needs really well. There's nothing. I don't want to say like it's perfect.
Yeah,
very well. If I had like counterpart from marketing DA on here, she might, I know she's had some challenges with marketing emails where maybe they need to go to where they're not being tracked in Salesforce, for example, like contact, like, very, very like early leads, right? That we wouldn't necessarily bring into the system yet. So if there was a way, and I mean, we could honestly just make a record type and have access to it. So like, it's not like, the system is just so flexible because it is Salesforce native that usually when we have a problem, we're able to like engineer our way around it. Right? So that's more of just internal conversations that would have to happen than like something with the product, to be completely honest with you. Yeah.
Okay. And what is your marketing team using today for?
They're still using MailChimp for some of their marketing emails. Yeah.
Okay. And that's because the data itself is not in Salesforce. Is that the reason?
Yeah, often they're maintaining lists in MailChimp that are like cold leads, essentially, right? Like where we don't want to be tracked. We don't necessarily need to be tracking them yet in Salesforce. There's things that they got from an event or people signing up or scanning a QR code where there's like probably no interest.
I got you. Okay. That's for marketing. Otherwise, you have the operations running on MassMailer. Any features that you think you would really like to have in MassMailer that are not there? Any kind of feedback that you would like to share?
Yeah, again, I think, if you talk to my users, they might. For me, working on the admin side of it, it does the job. I'm familiar with it at this point. It's very easy to get things up and running in there. People have expressed some reservation to me about, I think the template builder is fine. People have expressed some reservation about the template builder. And I think it honestly just comes down to familiarity, especially like people who have used MailChimp in the past sometimes look at the template builder and it doesn't immediately make sense to them, but usually within showing them one or two things in it, they get it pretty quickly. So, if I've heard complaints, it's there. Sometimes people are just also not aware that they can build out very like visually rich templates within there the same way you could within another platform. So it's just, so I think sometimes they're just, a lot of times we're just sending out, they're not, again, because they're not marketing emails. A lot of times the emails we send out are mostly just text, right? Because it's just saying like, hey, here's your invoice. So I think, that's again, just an internal thing where it's just education saying like, we send out mostly text emails, but that doesn't mean that's all it should do.
Okay. Does SMS and WhatsApp, does it play a role in the student communication? Like SMS messages or WhatsApp? Yeah.
I mean, it does. So if we really want to get crazy, I don't think about MassMailer as doing this, but like for us, we're speaking about enhancements, SMS isn't as big a deal for us as WhatsApp and WeChat are, because most of our, or all of our customers are international. So, whatever the market specific messaging service is, that's been a definite challenge for us as an organization is, how do we effectively target people where they are communicating and where they are existing every day? Email obviously if you send someone an email invoice, that's still, you still want to receive an invoice that way, right? So like for a lot of our communication is like very official things. Like here is your transcript, here is your invoice. So people sort of expect that via email, and they also are willing to like log into their email to receive that, right? But for more casual communication, which is I think why we don't go all in on like email marketing, for example, our user base, other than our business partners, the agents we work with in the student's home country, generally don't read email, especially in China, right? Like email is just like the open rate is terrible. So if you guys were able to like push messages en masse out into like WeChat or WhatsApp stuff like that would obviously be a huge feature for us. I mean, I don't know if you guys have, that's like, I wouldn't have even thought of that solution, to be honest. But if you have it, then I'd be glad to.
Okay. Yeah, because you're actually working with international students, that prompted me to ask you that question.
Yeah,
Because most of the international students are on other channels, such as WhatsApp or WeChat or SMS kind of a thing. Yeah, that's definitely coming. Actually, WhatsApp is coming.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's great to know.
WeChat we have not thought about, but if there is enough interest, we can certainly take a look at it.
Yeah, WeChat is a tough one to crack because I'm sure
Really.
too, but like the WeCom versus WeChat and like what you're allowed to send mass, it's tricky for sure.
Okay, so what do you say overall experience with MassMailer?
Our overall experience with MassMailer. Yeah, our overall experience has been great. We purchased it to solve a very specific problem for us, and it fits that perfectly, right? We needed to be able to send out mass messages very easily, sometimes recurring, sometimes one-off, and it's as advertised in that regard. It has great deliverability. It's easy to see what your open rates are and what the metrics are on what you're sending. That's less important for us because, again, we're not using it for marketing so much. So it's, but it is good to see like, oh, hey, we sent out the invoices, but only 25% of the people actually open the invoice. Right. So we obviously need to have people proactively reach out through other channels to make sure we're getting paid. So that's definitely useful for us as well. So yeah, I mean, overall, we've had a really strong experience. It's definitely a critical tool for us now.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, this is a great story, actually. Thank you so much, Ryan. Have a good day.
You too.
Care.
Thank you for tuning into this episode of the Salesforce Center podcast by MassMailer. We truly appreciate your time and interest. If you would like to learn more about how MassMailer can help you simplify and supercharge your email outreach in Salesforce, visit us at massmailer.io or give us a call at 1-800-297-0991 or send us an email at hello@massmailer.io. We would love to hear from you. Until next time, I'm 𝗟𝗲𝗍𝗂𝗧, and we'll meet you again in the next episode of the Salesforce Center. Take care.